So we can solve this. This is back from chapter 8, okay?
Oh, I remember this actually.
Good. Then you split it and then solve each one. Yeah, good. X equals -3 and X equals -1. It was here for a while, so. But those would be two answers, which is really useful when it's something you could factor. We'll do one more just to practice.
Well, you should buy like 20 lottery tickets.
Why? That's a waste of money. You lose more money than you get.
Okay.
I just can't believe you
Not
pulled that from that
necessarily.
song.
It's free money.
$20, I would have paid $1 at max.
What happens if, you know,
I
you
would
get
have
like
paid
$1
anything.
million?
It was a half hour.
That's what everybody who buys a lottery ticket thinks,
Totally
but
different.
nobody wins it.
Totally. Probably just made more than it actually-
Wait, I got an actual question.
Why don't you do 3 over?
For now, because we have an X squared and an X, so we move the 3 order, we're not gonna be able to solve it. That's not gonna help us. So you're gonna have to factor it out.
Where's the +1?
What multiplies to 3 and adds to 4?
Multiply to 3. Why would you do that?
Because that factors it. This is back from chapter 8, show.
Wait, why would you do that?
'Cause that's-
Because I'm gonna, this is gonna be relevant to the thing we're about to learn today.
Oh,
Yeah,
the other one's -5.
Is this all on the map? I don't know which we're currently having.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like
Two.
it'll be only the second half of the year.
second half? Oh, that's not bad.
So how many chapters?
It's basically just all the tests.
What do we learn in February? Whatever that was.
No, I did that on those.
I didn't, wait, it's not the FX thing.
Could it be from now till the final?
This is all-
No.
Is it the FX thing?
I wish.
I don't remember. I have to look at
It
it.
is that I'm not taking it.
You don't have a choice.
So what
I
happens
guess you
if-
could not take
what
it, but you
happens
got a
if I
0.
escape out of country? Do I have to take the final too?
So next is the
No,
next
actually,
one.
I
I have to look.
Because you're gonna go to Zeus.
No, but I moved it up.
I'll be really mad. I'll be annoyed at least.
Good.
All right. So today that works. I'll leave it up here for a minute. But that works when you have a number that happens to break up perfectly, right? It's like 10 and 7 and stuff like that. But there's sometimes we can't break it up perfectly. So we're gonna do one where it is perfect, and then we're gonna continue from there. So say 10x plus 25, my bad, 25 equals 0.
Or -5 and -5.
Equals 0. Let's do that one.
Wait, what do you mean?
Let's do this one, the same
It's
thing.
5.
Wait,
-5.
add the 25 and multiply to the 10?
Yeah,
Wait.
Yeah. I asked you for help, but you decided.
I
to get
texted
far
Ethan
away
if he wants
as
to
possible.
Math grade, by the way.
Oh,
Bronson. I texted Bronson if he wants to straight. Math.
Shane, look at you.
okay, okay. -5, -5. Yep. Now, since they're both the same number, you could just write, this is not equal 0, by the way, but you just write -5 as your answer, okay? So this one is kind of special. Why is it special compared to the other two?
Because they're both -5.
Wait, why is it?
They're a perfect square. It's the same number, both of them, right?
Oh. Is it added to 25 or multiply?
Multiply to the C, that adds to the B.
Did you put the grades on plus portal?
Not yet, that's why I needed that.
Oh, yeah.
How do I know if my average?
I could do that right after class.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but it's average you're getting out and one plus added with the grade on your test and divide by 10.
no, that's not correct,
Oh.
because not everything's equal.
Yeah, because some are quizzes, some are. tests,
Yeah.
so words more-
Okay,
You have a.
We had a
Only one
quiz.
quiz.
yeah, so let's go to this one. X squared plus 10x
We love 10x's.
plus,
16.
not plus, sorry,
Minus, come
Oh,
on,
my bad,
16 actually works.
minus
25,
7,
16.
14.
45. That's a sick number.
Stop
Minus
talking for a
11.
second. I just need to think.
40, 40, 40, 40.
16 works.
I know.
12,
you wanted
12.
to-
16.
11.
Oh,
No,
I said 11.
I don't want 11. Shoot.
No, you wanted 7. Wanted
5.
7.
You know, I'll do 7. Whatever. Okay. All right. Equals 0. So first, let's look at this. Okay.
Oh, add
What do
seven.
we notice? Something weird.
Yeah, because you can't have it as two
Five
things
and
that
seven.
add up.
And
to it.
five
So
and
then wouldn't you just add 7 to the y?
It is
5
5
and
and
2.
2.
5 and 2. If it was positive 5 and positive 2, that would multiply to positive something.
Exactly. So it has to be one of them.
And you have to You're,
No,
you're,
because
you're
once they
multiplying to C and add to
No,
B.
the answer, the thing you
No,
get
you have
negative
five.
7 is
Negative
-5 and
five.
-2, but then it switches to 5 and 2.
Or there's no common
I
factor.
think it's -5 and -2, and then it switches to 5 and 2 when you have the 0.
Yeah, she's right. it's
Mm,
negative
yeah,
five,
she is.
negative two. It's -5, -2.
It's not -5, -2.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it
Because
is.
-5 plus
Negative
-2 is
five.
-7.
Dude, you gotta multiply to C.
Oh.
You're adding to C in
So
that
add
sense.
7 to make it easy.
So it's impossible.
Right now, it's impossible,
-5 and -7.
but we're about to learn how to make it possible. Okay.
You have
So-
to add 7 to both sides.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is learn how to make it possible.
You guys are
So
like-
this is the first step.
Well,
First off, we want all the X's on one side and we want all the numbers on the other side. So the first thing we're gonna do is +7, so get rid of it. So X squared, X squared plus 10X. I'm gonna leave a little gap here, equals 7.
Wait, really? If you say that, like, you can't solve the problem.
Right now, with our skills, we can't. It's not one of the situations where we could just multiply to C and add to B. So we're about to add it to our repertoire to do completing the square. Now, if it was something where I put some number, let's say a +C here and a +C here, because if you do it to one side, you got to do it to the other.
Okay.
If I added a number here to make this perfect, what number could I add this to make it a perfect square trinomial? Not 2, not 5.
no.
What number could I add here to make it so it's a nice and beautiful one that I can actually factor? Not 10, not 100,
-3.
Really?
1.
not 0.
-3.
-2.
The C I'm making.
-3.
14.
No,
-3.
no, no.
-7.
What I'm going to add,
-7.
what I'm going to add is going to be +25.
What I just said.
Oh,
+25.
it's literally in the,
Yeah, it's on the previous one. So I'm gonna add +25 on both sides.
You want me to-
Wait a second. What could I rewrite this as? What could I rewrite this as after I add that +25?
X
10,
plus
10x plus
Negative
25 and
five.
10x plus 25.
5 and 5.
Or.
No, you can rewrite it like this. X plus 5, X
Oh,
plus
you do
5.
like that.
But what's a way to make X plus 5 even smaller?
X
X
plus
plus 5
5
to the
squared.
second.
Good. So I'm gonna rewrite this part as X plus 5 squared. Why can I do that? Because I already did the math over here, if you notice. It's the same number. So it's beautiful when it's the same number, because now this is gonna be 7 plus 35, 32. No, it's gonna be not clean, but whatever, we'll work with that. So here we have X plus 5 squared. Wait a second, from yesterday's lesson, what can I do with that square to get rid of the square? Square root, good. So I'm gonna square root both sides. Now 32 sadly is not a clean square root. I'll make the next one a clean one. So X plus 5, because the square and the square root cancels out, equals plus or minus square root 32. 32 is not a clean one, so we just leave it square root 32. I don't want you to change the
You're allowed
decimal.
to do that though? Like-
Yeah, just leave it like that. Yeah.
What-
I want you to do it like that. I don't want you to change the decimal. Yeah. Then,
That's the answer.
well, X is not by itself, so one more thing,
Minus 5.
-5. So here, -5,
It's X
Equals.
plus or minus 27.
no, you can't add them because this one's in a square root.
You only do X plus.
No, I would say no, because this one, this is a square root and this is a normal number. They can't interact, so I'll leave it like that. If it was a normal number, I would leave, I would actually,
That's kind of tricky.
it's not common.
I'm thinking, you put a comma over there, like between 32 and -5. Kind of tricky. No, like-
32 and a
no,
negative
wait
5.
for the answers.
It's right here.
32. Thank you.
It's not plus or minus, it's actually whatever the number of 32, it's some decimal.
I'm thinking-
-5 and two.
Can I give the two answers?
Yeah, it's two
No.
answers. That's already taken care of with the plus or minus over here.
So I said that's why you just put a comma to show us two answers.
You could do 32 minus 5 and -32 minus 5, that's fine.
That's all I'm asking.
He's
I mean-
asking because it looks like they're together, so. we
They
have
are
to put a
together.
comma.
You said they're
No,
two different answers.
He's saying that
No,
the
but
5
the
is
same
in the
answer,
square
just
root.
write it
He
as
he said, so he
positive
says
and
put a comma, so it doesn't. go-
Yeah, this is what it actually is. I think you're thinking the 5 is two different
Yes,
answers,
that's what
no.
I thought.
No, it
Yeah, it should be like this. That would be the comma, but you don't need that. You have the plus or minus.
Wait, why is it plus in minus?
Because when you square root something, what happens? Sure. You get the plus or minus, that's why.
Wait, why'd you put the negative 32?
Because one's
Okay,
positive and one's a
yeah,
negative.
yeah, yeah.
So this is the answer.
Yeah, this is the answer. This is longer, but it's the same answer. We're gonna do that again. But this time I picked 25 because it was the perfect number. How can we figure out what's the perfect number every time?
Divided by number.
Just something like that.
Squaring.
Oh, very close, actually. Really good. So I'm gonna use the same one, 10x. We know our goal is 25. So I need to figure out how to pick 25 every time, or the right number every time. Well, no, not at least our great common factor. Not multiples or the, okay.
Lowest common multiple.
We know, what is our goal? Our goal is to get it perfect, that it's the same number each time, right? So it's x plus blank, x plus blank.
So funny.
So this plus this number plus this number has to add up to b, right? So what can we do if you know both of these numbers have to be the same and they have to add up? What does that mean? That is
I love
What
the
page?
people one.
Like 5.
divide it in half. So what we're going to do, the formula to find the perfect number, in this case is 25, other ones are gonna be different numbers. B over 2, you cut it in half. But wait a second. 10, half of 10 is 5, right? So what did I do to get 25?
Five
You
times
add.
five.
You add.
5 times 5, what's that word? When you multiply by itself? Square. So this is the formula you're going to use.
Laughing.
B over 2 squared. This is the formula. Okay, B over 2 squared is the sides, your new, we'll say C
Was that
value.
the formula to find like the perfect number? That's-
The perfect number to cause this perfect
So
situation.
from last time, wait, actually, never mind.
Okay. So let's,
What if it's
it's still square root of decimal. For our practice right now, I'm not gonna give you this.
dying.
You guys okay?
So, so let's say example. Here's an actual example. X squared plus 6x, we'll say equals, I'm gonna pick a number that's
Wait,
good,
how come you didn't fill it in? X plus 5, X plus 5?
91, I'm sorry. What's
How
up?
come like on the top you just fill it in with X plus 5, X plus 5?
I mean, it is X plus 5. I'm just showing that
Can I add it?
we don't have a
I'm
C.
lost.
We need to add a C to make this perfect, because right now, there's no way we can solve it as a x squared and x. We're kind of stuck, right? So what I'm going to first do, I'll make it with a little space here, actually. But I'm gonna add a new C in order to make it perfect. Now, how do I decide what number makes it perfect?
This.
Good, B over 2 squared. Now, this happens to be a 6, so 6 over 2
It's 3.
squared.
And then
That's
six.
3
Then equals
squared, which is 9.
Second.
9, so it's gonna be x squared, I'm gonna rewrite this, plus 6x. Remember, I have to do C to both sides to be fair.
How many steps?
I know, plus 9. And then 91 plus 9,
100.
100.
I just saw that.
Wait,
Okay.
why is it not 3?
Okay, you're in.
Give me a second. Brielle has her hand up, so I'm gonna answer the question. Go ahead.
Where did you get that?
Where did I get the C?
Oh,
What, you gotta give me the whole thing. This is the question in black, if that's what you're asking.
Hey, man, please do that.
This is the equation you need to know about. This is, I'm just talking about how to find the equation, but I don't really need you to find it. I just, a new problem. Okay. All right, Sherelle, you had a question, sorry. Okay. All right, so we have this, x squared plus 6x plus 9. All right? X squared plus 6x plus 9.
Minus 9 to both sides.
No, before we do that, because we don't want that. We already like it, that this is perfect.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we know it's perfect because we use b over 2 squared. So we're gonna factor it, which is gonna be x plus what? X plus blank, x plus blank,
3.
x plus 3. Now, I want you to notice something. This 3 is always gonna be the same number as what you're putting in here,
Why
So
does- why does-
because you're cutting it half and squaring it. So this is the cut in half. No, not when you're doing this type of problem.
Number 9.
You are going to find a 9 in the problems, but 9 was not in the original question with b over 2
How
squared.
come you just wrote x3, not just plus, where's the plus?
We'll say that again.
You just wrote like x and 3.
Oh, my bad. I just,
thought you were multiplying.
yeah. Okay. X plus 3, is there a way to condense it and write it a little nicer?
Yeah,
What's
x
9
Oh,
plus
yeah,
3 and then
x plus 3 is-
squared.
Good. X plus 3 squared equals 100. Oh, I have a square. I don't like that. How could I get rid of the square? Square root it.
That's the same thing. That's what I mean.
So smart there.
X plus 3 equals plus or minus 10. So X plus 3 equals plus or minus, the square root is 10. That's half. Good. But this one, these are actual, a clean number, so we could actually solve it. I'm gonna minus 3,
So is it
Minus
x
3.
equals plus minus 7?
no,
You can't do that.
plus minus 10, minus 3. So I'm gonna split it into 2 questions. You could split it earlier and then solve it too.
Oh, I think square.
10 minus 3 equals,
7.
good. And then negative 10 minus 3 is
Negative 13.
negative 13.
Well, why did you do that?
Why did I do that? When you square root, you get both the plus and the minus. Because you get the plus and the minus, I need to figure out both answers. Since this is a clean number, we'll actually do them now. When it's a square root, like square root 32 from the previous question, we'll just leave it plus or minus.
Wait, so 7 and negative 13 are your answers?
7 and negative 13.
That's like too much work.
Okay.
I think he cares. Do you think he cares that it's too much work?
What?
I think he cares that it's too much work.
No.
Exactly.
We tried.
I got you. Stu.
I'm gonna leave this here. Try this one in your own.
Oh, that's gonna be too.
X squared,
So what's the answer, this?
7 and 13,
X squared.
plus 12x.
Is it supposed to be a negative?
You'll add the c,
Is
but
that
I'll just leave it
negative?
blank right now.
This is really complicated.
Equals,
Is that negative 10 minus negative 3?
yeah, just minus 3, so negative 3.
84,
Nah,
96, 96,
16.
96, 96,
negative 11,
81.
negative 11, yeah,
Oh, I don't rock with that number.
sorry.
Oh, wait, how do I do?
And remember, this is what you need to know,
Two squared.
b over 2 squared. Use that to
Yeah,
help
I
you
didn't
find.
count.
How do you do
What's 12 divided by 2 then?
6.
6, what's 6 squared?
36.
Okay,
36.
You know, you don't need your calculator.
Oh,
Okay.
I can share.
What's up?
4 fill refresh.
Okay, got it. I know you tried to do it.
Equals 36.
It's like
Equals
water
25.
and like lemon.
Yeah, please.
I don't know.
Is it
It's
25?
good for me. I'm gonna drink it.
I don't know.
It's
I'm not gonna answer it. I'll just let you guys, I want you guys to try it. You can compare it with somebody else. Remember, you are adding the C. To find the perfect C to cause this beautiful situation is b over 2 squared.
Liquid.
Well, you have to add the same thing to both sides. It's like a seesaw. You have to do it to both sides.
Okay, now what do you do?
Oh,
Why
y squared root of 6.
Yeah.
Oh, you want x plus 6 for a second? You just make it x plus.
You're not moving the 11.
on the square.
You're not moving the 11 to here. Do not do that. You want X's on one side and numbers on the other side of the situation, okay?
Plus minus. Oh, fine.
So you're gonna have to find the perfect C to get you the perfect situation like this, where you get
I'm
X plus
so
3
lost.
squared, or something like that. X plus blank squared.
I didn't even start. I don't know how to start.
Yes. You wanna get it so it's the perfect multiplying item.
Wait. 5. Wait,
All
so
right.
5 minus.
So tell me, I forgot how to start. How do I start?
Wait, 5 minus 6 is negative 1, right?
Okay, to start, you're gonna find, what is B in this case?
12.
12 divided by 2
Oh, I forgot how to
squared. 12 divided by 2 should be 6. Squared.
Oh, negative 11 and negative 1.
36.
Oh, gee.
So what that means
I
is
completely
each
forgot about
C
that.
is gonna become a 36.
You get negative
So
1.
x squared plus 12
Ask somebody else.
plus 36 equals
12x plus 36 equals 25.
What? For the 25?
He skipped the step.
Negative 11 plus 36. Now, I'm gonna rewrite, shh, stop talking. I'm gonna rewrite this as a factor.
Oh, 12 and.
No, things that multiply to 36, that adds to 12. Wait,
62.
no, you don't have to even pretend, because you already get it, because you picked the perfect number. We picked the perfect number to always become the x
I
plus
knew it
6,
was
x plus 6. Good, let's see if it's right then. Equals 25. We could rewrite that to be a little nicer.
I was refreshing H2O.
Equals 25.
The half a second ago, she's on.
Now we're gonna square root. Square root
Hey, man.
x plus 6 equals plus or minus, what's the square root of 25?
Fine.
5. So you could split it early. I'll split it early this time. So you could do x plus 6 equals 5 and x plus 6 equals negative 5. No, it doesn't. But some people like it earlier. Minus 6, minus 6.
That equals -1.
Good. And negative 6, negative 6.
Done.
X equals
Negative
11.
11. Good.
I've not heard, my mom just switched lanes.
Okay,
It's like commentating
That's
her mom
so
dropping,
weird.
oh, and she shifts to the left lane.
we're good.
Right.
We're gonna do more of this tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Your homework?
Yeah, the homework.
Wait, what?
Yeah, of course. it's
Averaging
homework.
thing.
Wait, it's fine, no.
Oh, wait, there's none? Wait, there's none or?
Yeah, good practice.
Wait, there's-
How about since we.
She paid you 20, come on, man.
I already paid the services already.
Okay, it's plus tax, bro.
Okay,
Just over, can you do
So-
the averaging stuff?
yeah, I could do that.
on the-
Guys, we should all just. check
Oh,
this
can I
out,
see my
like,
average, Mr.
Every day.
I just asked him. I go
Ow, my
first.
knee.
I go
Ow,
first.
ow, ow. That's a 20.
I don't have a good
That's
average.
20, see, I'll have to 20, so, ow.
There's a lot of people crossing.
Head over here for.
How do you know?
I know. Let me see. This stuff has chlorophyll in it.
She's had a.
Oh, by the way, if you wanna know who shut your phone off
It's
before?
not actually you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you do it. Let's see where your dad is.
Forever. My dad is near
Oh, let me
539
separate them.